back to Low Tech Garage. Today we're going to be tackling a simple project. It's on our F150 and it concerns a particular habit that Ford had in that period of time on actually their trucks and passenger cars. And as I zoom in here, you'll be able to see what that is. So yeah, they used to glue a button to the windshield to hold the rearview mirror in place, and in hot climates like we get here in Florida, the continued heat would basically have a fail on the glue and then the mirror would fall off. And so today we're going to go ahead and do a project to reattach the button on the inside so that we can put the mirror back. So for the project, the good news is we don't really need too much. The primary thing is to go to your auto store and get a kit like this. There's a couple different brands. I've tried different ones in the end. 3M, obviously good quality product, so we're expecting good results from this one. Then you're going to need some kind of scraper. Razor blade is a good choice to get the old glue off the windshield. Once that's off, you need to be able to clean the glass, so you need, either alcohol on a shop cloth or glass cleaner of some kind to make sure that the area is very clear. You'll need either a wax marker pen or a piece of tape so that you can mark on the outside of the windshield the current location for the button, because once you've taken the glue off, it's not going to be apparent as to where you should put it back unless you've marked it. So we're going to go ahead and put a piece of tape on the outside first, and that will give us an easy place to put the button back once we glue it. And then some shop cloths, just clean up if needed. And you probably, if you're looking at this, you maybe have a mirror where the back of it looks like this right now. So you're going to need to pop a screwdriver in here and pop this button out, because this is the piece that we're going to glue back onto the windshield. Study it before you take it out of the mirror, because you want to understand which way is up and which way is front and back as well. So just take a careful look at that, and maybe you can put a mark on it. You just don't want to put anything on this surface because this is the one that's going to get glued. But for example, you could put a mark on the end to show the top. So that said, I'm now going to take a screwdriver and pop the button out as the first step. So to remove the button, if you pop a screwdriver in this gap and rotate it, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this with one hand. I think the mirror's going to turn, but you can get, oh yeah, it's starting to move. So you can see that that's already pried it up, and then it's just going to slide out of the top. Okay, so then once I've removed it from here, you can see how it basically slides out like this. Again, you can see there's a flange on the back. That's the side that obviously goes inside and not against the windshield. And then, in fact, I've taken time to just put the word top on it, because that'll give complete clarity. You'll be able to read that from the inside, meaning the correct face is going against the windshield, and you'll put it the right way up. So next up is turn our attention to marking the spot on the windshield. So with the sun where it is, it's a little tough to see from the outside, but if I zoom in, you can kind of see this spot here where the old glue is. So that's going to tell us exactly where we need to put that button. What I'm going to do now is cut a piece of tape that's essentially that size and stick it on the outside of the windshield just to cover that exact spot. Okay, and now you can see I put the piece of tape there, and that's going to give me a pretty good idea of where I need to stick the button back. So next up is going to be to scrape the old glue off the inside of the windshield. So we're going to go ahead and do that with the razor blade. So let's see how far we can get. I'm using one of these single edge razor blades. You know, it's just safe enough to hold it, but it's small enough that you're going to be able to get in at the curvature of the windshield. And then we're just going to need to basically work the glue area like this. As you can see, that took quite a slice off right there. So you're going to continue to work on that. It's probably easier for me to steady this rather than have the camera in place, but you get the idea. The glue seems to come off fairly easily, just a bit of slow steady pressure. So we'll get that done and then be right back. Alright, so once all the glue is removed, we're going to take a glass cleaner and just work this area thoroughly. Needless to say, cleanliness on this is actually a very, very important piece. If we don't get all the old glue off and any trace of like oils or grease or anything like that, the glue is not going to last very long. Okay, so that should have got it all clean. I'm probably going to hit it with a dry shop cloth just to get any excess off, and then I think that leaves the windshield side of things ready to go. Next, we're going to take our cloth and some alcohol and basically clean this side of the button. And again, cleanliness is very important. Usually there's not much glue. The glue seems to want to stick to the windshield rather than the metal. But you want to use some kind of a cleaner or alcohol that'll be residue free when it's done, and make sure that this surface is fully clean as well. So the 3M product is a two-part adhesive, and as you can see, there's an activator and then the actual adhesive itself. The first step is to take the activator tube. The cap is shipped separately, and if you look inside here you can see there's a little sort of a spike, I'll say, plastic protrusion, that when you screw this onto the tube it's going to pierce the tube, and then you can see in the end here there's sort of like a foam applicator. So what you're going to do is you're going to screw the cap onto the tube. That'll pop the seal, the silver seal that's in the end of the tube, and then you just apply a little bit of gentle pressure and you'll see a blue colored liquid start to come out on that applicator. Just be aware the blue liquid is has the potential to stain things, so you want to make sure that you're not going to drip it on the upholstery of your vehicle or anything else that you care about. And then what you're going to do is essentially put a coating of that on the glass where the button will go, and then also actually on the button itself. So with the cap screwed on and just a little gentle pressure, on the tube, you can see the change of color I was mentioning, and this is what we're now going to apply onto the button. It's tricky to see, but that's given a good covering on the button, and that's a spill, so I'm glad I put the paper down for it. So now we're going inside the truck and we're going to put a similar level of the blue liquid onto the windshield. Yeah, so I'm basically just taking this and marking it over this area, put the actuator in place, and hindsight, using blue tape for a bluish liquid probably not necessarily the best choice. I guess if you have regular white masking tape it might show up a little better. So now we have to wait 5 minutes for that to cure. Okay, so now we're going to turn our attention to the glue. This is the cap end, and actually what I found, I used that razor blade to just run around on this label right at this point, and then that allows you to remove the cap. We still have a couple minutes to go, so I'm going to hold off on taking the cap off, but ultimately what we're going to do then is use some of this adhesive, put a drop of it onto our button, and then after that we'll be applying this back to the windshield. Okay, so here you can see I've removed that top part of the label, and that's going to make it easier to just unscrew the cap. Okay, so the cap, it doesn't unscrew, it just pops off. It's just got a ridge. You might just pop it off with your fingers or put a pair of fine nose pliers and pull the top off, but essentially the cap comes off like this. And then let's see if I can, I'm going to change over a little bit here. So now we have our button, and we need to just put one drop on the blue side of the button, and then we're going to go pretty speedily into the truck and put this back in place. Okay, there's our drop, and to the truck we go. Okay, so there's the button. You can see I've let it run a little bit along the length. Now we want to orient it, and so let me see, I need both hands to just locate this, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so it's in the correct place, and what you do is you use a little bit of a rotating motion and apply pressure, and that should let the glue go over the entire surface. And then at that point you're going to pick your spot, and you're going to hold it right against the windshield steadily for a minute. Probably you don't need to see me holding my thumb on the windshield for a minute, so I guess I can just talk about what happens next. After that 1 minute, you then need to leave it to cure for 15 minutes. And at that point the button will be reattached to the windshield, and then you can just carefully slip the mirror assembly back over the top of the button, and you should be good to go. I'll come back and grab the mirror assembly in a few. Okay, so here we are. We've got a mirror set back in the truck, and you know, we should be all set for a while now. Just want to take a moment to thank you for taking time to watch the videos on Low Tech Garage. We really do appreciate every single person that visits our site. We hope you get value from it. If you do, tell your friends, and please go ahead, if you haven't done so, just hit the subscribe button. Again, thank you, and we'll see you next time.